Oilers Nation every day with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
Let's give this another go. On the third day of belt miss, the Oilers gave to me. Oh, God, an OT loss to the Sabres. That fucking sucks. Let's get into it with the lead. Not what was supposed to be under the belt miss tree last night for our Edmonton Oilers. We were supposed to keep the good times going. Is Evan Bouchard the belt miss Grinch? Plenty of different angles to get to today on the show. Welcome into Oilers Nation every day. We are live from the Sports Closet studio. Check them out online at sportscloset.ca. This show is a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. I like this one from Dalks in the YouTube chat, Liam. 1 point for 30 minutes of work. Not bad.
Was it even that long?
15 minutes?
Yeah, 15 to 20. They showed up late. Kind of what happened. They showed up late, and they still somehow managed to get a point, undeservedly. And they probably got the game. Probably ended the way it should have, in the sense of like a huge Oilers error after a big comeback was gifted to the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah,
they deserved to win that game.
Yeah,
probably in regulation, but I'm glad the Oilers weren't the first team to give them a regulation road win this season.
They haven't won in regulation on the road.
No, and Jack kept mentioning it throughout the entire period. So that was good of him.
Yeah, not the best night by the Edmonton Oilers, but they pick up a point for the third time on this 4-game homestand. We'll break down the homestand, give it a grade, do a bunch of stuff. Michael Menzies is going to join us in the studio at 12:30. Then at 1 o'clock, Bruce Boudreau.
Yeah, huge guest. Lots of angles to go with Bruce.
So many different angles. This is a guy who has coached plenty of superstar players throughout his illustrious career. Jack Adams Award winner back in 2008. Coached over 1,000 games behind an NHL bench. He also got a chance to coach Vasily Podkolzin.
Yeah, when Podkolzin was a rookie in Vancouver and had 14 goals, Bruce was his coach. So we can find out what the magic juice was.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there was any?
Well, hopefully not.
Or was it his skills coach?
Hopefully no Olympic stuff. Skills coach.
Yeah, Pudsey skills coach. He's done a bunch of interviews with that guy. Pudsey.
You've been watching Wednesday. You haven't. I know you haven't. Anyone watch Wednesday in the room?
What is that?
No, was?
That's the Addams family, Wednesday Addams, right?
Wednesday Addams.
She has her own spinoff.
Yeah, it's actually awesome.
Jenna Ortega. I know what it is.
It's really good.
All
Catherine
right.
Zeta-Jones is
Rank
in it.
them, the rookie, Wednesday, and young Sheldon.
Oh, that's a tough list.
No way you're right.
The rookie's first. Then it's probably the way you said it. The rookie, Wednesday, young Sheldon.
All right.
I never finished young Sheldon because the end's just so sad.
They kill him?
No, they
Like what they did to Roseanne and the Connors? That's morbid.
no, that was ruthless.
Yeah, that was just insane.
No, the dad dies in young
Really?
Sheldon. Yeah, because have you ever seen... I'm asking. Have you seen The Big Bang Theory?
Like I have, but like...
So, like, Sheldon doesn't have a dad in The Big Bang Theory, and it's mentioned a ton of times.
So they were in a corner with how they could write the show.
Yeah, they had to kill him off at the end. It's actually very sad.
Is that why they did the reboot of George and Mandy's First Marriage?
I think so,
So they could
yeah.
give the dad a bit more life?
No, he was already dead.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure you're picking up the timeline here.
George and Mandy's First.
So George and Mandy, young Sheldon's brother is George. Mandy is Hannah Montana's best friend. And Emily Osment.
Okay, wait. George and Mandy aren't young Sheldon's parents.
No, they're his sister. Brother, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm starting to get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the dad was called, but yeah, the whole thing, whole CTV Cineworld, Cinematic Universe, whatever they're called.
And Nathan Fillion killed the dad.
Nathan Fillion killed the dad. Yes, the rookie is connected.
Yeah. All right. Well, good show, everybody. That's going to do it for us. Stay tuned for Bruce Boudreau at the top of the hour. 1 hour from now, we should be talking to one of the most tenured
greatest coaches in NHL history.
Most tenured for sure, right? Like,
yeah, one of the best. Yeah.
For now, we're breaking down George and Mandy's First Marriage.
Never seen it.
Yeah. Oh, whatever.
But Bouchard doesn't care.
You know, the Oilers won the expected goals battle with Bush on the ice yesterday.
What did they do on the real goal battle?
Well,
probably. I think Bouchard was on the ice for both even strength goals against.
he
Yeah, because the other two were power play goals from Josh.
Was he the only Oiler on the ice for both even strength goals against? Yes. Was he on the ice for 2 goals for, though? Yes.
Was he really?
Yeah.
That's good.
So
yeah, I guess he got an assist on the game tying goal, and then I missed the first goal, to be honest. I mean, 10 seconds into a period.
Yeah.
You're kind of doing things, not expecting a goal to happen that quickly. But yeah, it's safe to say Bouchard didn't have, well, ironically, he did have one of his signature nights because we come to expect these from him from time to time. But it's the first time in quite a while he's been the vocal point of a loss, I think. But I feel like you don't agree.
I mean, let's just break it down. Our game recaps brought to you by our friends at Greta, go-to party spot downtown Edmonton. We're going to be there this Saturday for our Nation Citizens Festive Frolic. Sure. I like calling it something different every time. It's a festive face-off, of course. This Saturday, December 13th, free entry at Greta. Secure your reservation now through the Open Table app. Doors at 4, puck drop at 5. Me and AB will be on pregame. Aaron and Liam will be on postgame. We'll be partying the whole night, drinking beers. What else are we going to do? Spanking each other with belts.
I will be dressed as Santa, so that kind of works.
Yeah,
okay.
Adds up.
He's got a big belt.
Ric Flair and oil.
Yep. Anyways, let's get into our game recap last night. Things did not start particularly well for the Oilers as Josh Doan opened the scoring, made it 1-0. Right at the end of the first period, power play goal, beautiful deflection, nothing Stuart Skinner could do about it. Anything else?
Unfortunate penalty from Tomasek. I actually liked that he drove to the net and made an effort to go and...
but it was definitely a penalty.
Definitely a penalty.
Because he smoked him.
This is a goal. Nice play by Josh Doan.
Yeah.
In his dad's home province, where his dad should have played for many years.
His dad texted Louis and said he loves scoring goals in Alberta.
Yeah. You would have loved it too if Steve Kelly didn't exist. Shane.
That's a good pull. Well, you're saying it like it's Shane's fault.
I'd like to blame him.
Got to blame someone.
You're a little bit better player back then. We want to take Steve.
Penalty trouble doesn't help because Nurse earlier in that period got a penalty for boarding Peyton Krebs.
Yeah.
So a couple trips to the box you don't need to take. A relatively flat first period, which is kind of inexcusable considering how well you played recently. And you were playing a team who's coming in on the second of back-to-backs where they had to travel. So, you should have gone more foot down out of the gates here. So that was disappointing. Not nearly as inexcusable as the second period where the Oilers get outshot 14-10. And, I mean, they get outscored 2-0, but you could call it 3-0 because of the glove pass goal that got called back. So,
what'd you think of that?
Well, do we have it? Okay, whatever. Pat had it on DFO Live. I don't know if that helps you. But Tage Thompson scored. Josh Doan got his second through the legs. That was a beauty. So those are the 2 goals that counted. We don't need to revisit those because, again, actually, one of them was the Bouch play. So maybe we should revisit it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the Bouch goal. All right. Here's my take. Really stupid play by Evan Bouchard.
Yeah, you probably don't want to do that. You're aggressive forecheck as well from the Buffalo Sabres, too. I think it was Tuch who goes flying behind the board. Yeah. So you should already somewhat feel the pressure then. But
I love that guy.
Like Tage Thompson, it's not like he comes from out of nowhere, you know? Like it's right in front of him. You should be able to see him right there. And there was options to play. They obviously come at him, again, aggressively and quick. You just got to get the puck out of there anywhere, to be honest. Like even just a blind pass up the boards is probably good.
Just rim it, yeah. But again, that's the... And this is where I will, get ready, everybody. This is where I will defend Evan Bouchard a little bit. We talk about how, the beauty of Bouchard is that he makes plays and makes plays up the ice that very few other defensemen are capable of making here, right? So the beauty of Evan Bouchard is that he very rarely just wants to rim it because he wants to do something elite with the puck. So, the reason I'm not going to crucify the guy for this one is just because this is a play he's making where it's you know what? I'm going to try avoid this first forechecker, snap the puck up the ice, and make a high-end elite play instead of just doing what 99% of other NHL defensemen do, and it's rim the puck around the board. So, again, he's trying to make a high-end play. Does he have to learn to pick his spots maybe a little bit better? Absolutely. Could Matthias Ekholm have helped him out a little bit here? Absolutely. It's still a bad play, and it's one where you could tell when Bouchard's skating to the bench, Ekholm's in no man's land there.
No, I don't know. Ekholm's right on the boards. That's not too difficult of a pass for him to be making. He's right there. Where's Ekholm supposed to go when Skinner stops?
Yeah, okay, maybe he could have just rimmed it around.
I think the play is
it's a bad play.
Puck.
Yeah.
There's no one else to blame but Bouchard in that play.
Okay, Bouchard makes a bad play. It's 2-0. You see Thompson with the point towards the net, the good goal point. I like that celebration. Do we have the reviewed goal? Okay, that's fine.
I think it's bullshit.
I think it's bullshit too.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, what are we doing here?
So here's where I think it's bullshit. His glove never leaves the stick. So if his hand leaves the stick and he bats it down, 100% hand pass. But his glove never leaves the stick. So something interesting that happened in that game. Tage Thompson almost got called for, are they calling it a delay of game when you cover the puck on the face-off, right? But they didn't call it that, and they just redid the face-off because his hand was still on the stick.
Correct.
And he just knocked it back, and they just redid it.
I think that was in the third period, or was it the second?
I think
Whatever.
I think it was the first, actually. Right at the end of the first, that's when it was. So it's like, what's the difference? Like, how is one of them not allowing a goal, but the other one's not allowing a power play? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you can't use your hands, and you just say you can't use your hands in any circumstance. So I just think when you see this, it's like, I don't think Tuch has intent to do that.
No.
And I just think if his hand is, if it's open palm or hand not on the stick, I guess is the best way to put it, then that's it. But by rule, it's a bad goal, I guess.
I will say this, because I tweeted it yesterday. I was like, I don't like that this is what challenges have become. We've lost the plot. We're sitting here, and there was a play the other day in the Tampa game where a puck's going at Brandon Hagel's head, and he shields it. It goes off his hand. Tampa Bay passes the puck around for 13 seconds, eventually score, and that goal got called back. And John Cooper was furious about it, and I agree with him. And on this one, I tweeted, I said, we lost the plot. If it is such an egregious hand pass that leads to a goal, very similar to my stance on offside reviews, if it is such an egregious offside and the linesmen miss it, and that rarely happens. The offside goals that get called back almost all the time, you're sitting there squinting, being like, oh yeah, it was barely offside, and then they scored 20 seconds later or 8 seconds later or whatever the number is. Like, we've opened Pandora's box. We can't close it. I'll add that point in there. But we are looking for inches, little things, and going to gray areas to take goals off the board, and it's dumb. And I understand what you guys are saying, that it's the right call. Sure. Does it technically bounce off his hand and go to a teammate? Yes. And by rule, is that a hand pass? Is Alex Tuch sitting there and going, ooh, I'm going to swipe this with my hand because my guy's back door, and then he's going to tap it in? No, he's battling. Like you said, both his hands are like this or on his stick, and he's coming up and over a defenseman. The puck just happens to bump into his hand.
I think people are right. It was the right call. By the rule book, that is the rule, but the rule is bad.
And here's the other thing. I will call all of you in the YouTube chat who are disagreeing with me right now hypocritical. If this happened to the Oilers, if that was Zach Hyman who was battling in front of the net and a puck bounced off his hand and went backdoor to Leon Draisaitl who tapped it in, you would all be sitting here in the chat saying that's bullshit. It's not an intentional hand pass.
Yeah, I just think the NHL rulebook should be as simple as it should be black and white. And I guess it actually is in this scenario. He used his hand, but I just don't think that's the way it should be. There was actually at the end of the game when McDavid scored, Lindy Ruff said in his post game, like, how is that not goalie interference? It's like, well, your goalie was basically at the blue line when it happened. So I don't think that was anything to worry about.
Like, and again, my problem is not like, are you guys right that was the correct call? Yes, it was the correct call because they reviewed it. And is it by the technicality in the rulebook? Is that a hand pass? Yes. My problem is bigger picture here. Why are we reviewing shit like this? Why do we need this? Where was the goal that made it so egregious that all of a sudden the league was like, we need to be able to challenge for the smallest bit of hand pass that could happen before a goal? Like, and Lance, I agree with Tyler, and it's Pandora's box. It's quite annoying. The spirit of the rule should be respected more than the actual written rule itself. Sorry, that was from Rusty. Again, I get it that he hit it. They made the correct call. My point is not arguing whether or not this was the correct call or not.
They did.
They did. My point is, why are we reviewing this shit? Enough. We don't need more of this in the sport. I would love to go away with offside reviews.
I disagree with that one, but that's fine.
I think if it went away, we would never notice that it went away.
I just think that the Owen Tippett one is just one that comes to mind because it's recent. He was clearly offside, and they missed it.
Yep.
So if you didn't have reviews and that's a goal and the Oilers lose that hockey game.
But he was offside 12 seconds before the goal by this much.
But he was offside.
I know, but I'm saying we would never know. we would never go back and be like, oh shit. We never did that in the past. We never on a broadcast were like, all right, the Oilers scored in the second period, but look at this.
I don't know.
We never did that.
Because social media wasn't the way it was and technology wasn't the way it was. With the way it is now, like last night with the Tage Thompson on the broadcast, like, missed a wide open net. And then the truck guy's like, oh no, actually it was Brett Kulak sticking away. So if you had a Tage Thompson thing, there's no way Sportsnet isn't bringing that up after.
I just think we aren't sitting there, like our brains, if this whole thing never started and someone says I would hate the Premier League VAR use. I mean, maybe. Yeah. I don't pay close enough attention to footy to know. But like, I just think our brains now have been trained to like, oh, look at the zone entry, right?
Yeah.
If our brains had never been trained to that, we would never be like, I wonder if 30 seconds before the Oilers scored, Zach Hyman dragged his foot long enough for this one. It would just be like, all right, the play was onside, like wasn't egregious, keep going. I don't know. I just don't like that we've put so much into the reviews. And last night, this goal, I think in the spirit of hockey, that is a good goal. It's a battle in front of the net where the puck bounces off a guy's hand, goes backdoor to a guy. I think that's the kind of goal that should count.
I think it should have counted too.
Yeah.
But he didn't, and the Oilers did nothing to help themselves after.
No, because immediately after that, Evan Bouchard turns over the puck behind the net, and it's 2-0. So again, we can talk about this until we're blue in the face. I see Rich dropped in a super chat. Reviews should be in real time. Can't see the infraction too. Leon play a good goal. Yes and no. So like this is where, and I don't think I'm arguing against myself on this, but like I want less reviews in the sport. I will 100% say that. Like that is my stance firmly. Fewer reviews, the better. The product's better. There's less stoppages. There's more goals. If you're going to do it, you better do it and get it right. So I don't love the whole like, well, don't you? No, if you're going to do it and go the route the NHL is, instant replay. I want sensors in pucks. I want sensors on the blue line, sensors in skates. Put everybody with 1,000 sensors on. Because if we're going to do the stoppages and we're going to go through what I view a mind-numbing process of having to go through these reviews, we better at least get the shit right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they should get it right.
Which is why I don't like that you can review for a hand pass, because I think it is like offsides. I'll make the concession on the offsides with you of like, at least we can do like pretty well black and white. It is or isn't offside, right?
Yeah, typically.
A hand pass, there's so much gray area.
That's why the rules should change. I think that's why people are missing the point. Yes, the referees made the call, but the rule is bad.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, did it hit his hand on his stick? It should be, was his hand off his stick and didn't end it, he did it. Like, I haven't seen these other ones, but I guess there's been a ton this week, right?
Yeah, there's been Hagel, Marchand, and now this one.
Yeah, so, and I guess the Marchand one was like a straight up like swat, was it not?
Yeah, he open palm, swats at it, and then his teammate's the next one to touch it.
Yeah, like that shouldn't be a goal.
So you want it changed to like, if you, and Mulick said just allow hand passes in all zones. I think the rule should be if your hands are on your stick, you can use your hands however the hell you want.
100% agree.
I also think they should allow kicking goals if your foot's on the ice.
Yeah, I think that one can become more problematic, but I agree. I just don't know how you would word it. But again, maybe that's just not. I don't know. Maybe.
Austin says, Ty, you're onto something with getting it right, but the point is the rule is bad with the hand pass. Yes. And I think we kind of both agree on that. Like, we don't like the rule. By the way the rule is written, did they get the call right last night? Yes. So in that sense, is review good because a correct call was made? Sure. I just think we've lost the plot with all of this stuff. So
yeah. Even, sorry, on maybe the last point, Wreck-It says, same as a kick, was their intent? Which I also don't think would work because, again, that leaves a gray area in someone's opinion. Like last night, you could argue that Tuch had intent because his hand went forward, but there's clearly no way he had intent because it came happen so quickly.
You can't, the rule, like, that'd be like saying, like, oh, did the player intend to go offside? Every player is going to be like, no, of course I didn't. Of course I didn't mean to hand pass it. Like, what do you...
Yeah.
You can't be inside guys' brains. So, yeah, you can't open up that much gray area. You open the opportunity for players to now just keep their hands on their stick and raise them to hand pass it forward. Sure, let them.
Sure.
If you're coordinated enough where when the puck's in the air, you can close fist, punch it to a teammate.
Good for you.
Have at her, buddy. That's a good play.
Yeah.
Same thing. That's why I say it with the kicking. Like, if you're skilled enough to, like, as you're tied up with someone in front of the net to kick the puck in, give her more goals. I want more goals. Anyways, Oilers were down 3-0 going into the third, Liam. Did you have faith?
0.
I had a little bit just because I'm like, it is Buffalo. Did you live bet it?
I live bet the comeback the moment they went down 3-0.
What'd you
Turned
get
to
it
Brett,
at?
and I said, we've seen this movie way too many times before.
And it's belt miss.
It was plus 750. Boy, was I feeling good when we tied it up, but nope.
Yeah, it was just hard to have belief in them because they played so poorly in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything. They showed no little threat, I should say. No, obviously Ekholm at the post. There's other good opportunities too, but you had Colton Ellis leave the game, and then Alex Lyon, you didn't even know he was playing because he always went at that end of the ice. They got destroyed by
his best save was his first save he had to make.
Yeah.
I think it was the Hyman one, like off to the side.
Yes,
and then after that, they didn't really test him all that much. But here's, Aaron, if you want to go full screen for the Connor McDavid goal, 10 seconds into the period. That guy right here, that's Connor McDavid.
First time I'm seeing this. What a goal.
That's a beauty. Yeah, that's kind of the whole breakdown is just like, yeah, that is Connor McDavid. Also should have been icing. Right? But like, why can't we review icings? Why do we draw the line where we draw the line? I shouldn't get all back into this, but like, that's 100% icing.
Yeah, he's definitely behind the line.
But you can't review that. But you can review if a guy has a puck graze off his hand. Anyways, beauty by McDavid. I shouldn't take away from it.
Can we see it from the start again?
Look.
Oh, he is really far back. unless the linesman probably didn't even see it because he's clearly trying to climb up the boards.
I know. Like, it's icing.
See, now, picture this. Say this was the game-winning goal. The Oilers win this game.
Yep.
You cannot review.
Nope.
Imagine that was offside.
You could review it.
But imagine if you're ruling where you're like, I don't want that to be reviewed. That's what I mean. Like, and
but no. See, but like, that's my point is like, no, there was no outrage on social media of like, holy shit, they missed an icing on this goal for McDavid. It was just like, all right.
Lindy Ruff did bring that up in his postgame
He did?
too. Yeah, he says, how is that not icing? And he's right, but look at the linesman. He's climbing the boards. Can't see it. Maybe the other one could have, is obviously too, but yeah, I don't know.
I do feel like we're at a point where we're making each other's points of like, because it's such like a roundabout argument of like, okay, if that was offside, they would have reviewed it. I'm saying it's dumb. I wouldn't want either one of them reviewed, but it's hilarious that one of them can be reviewed.
What a dumb league.
I know.
What a dumb league.
But it allows us to have this dumb show.
10 seconds in.
Connor McDavid makes it 3-1. Minute 56 and Budsy in front of the net.
Good battle.
Good battle. He gets 3 whacks at this puck. Shot from the point.
Sorry, I was waiting.
I was too. Thrown on net by Leon. Again, how many times do we have to make this point on the show? Put pucks on net and you make your own luck. And that's exactly what this was. Draisaitl sees that he is a guy parked in front, throws it off the pads of Alex Lyon, and Podkolzin just wins a battle once, wins a battle twice, wins a battle a third time. You could argue wins a battle a fourth time and finds the back of the net. Big Selly, 3-2. Oilers got life.
Leon tried to do this a few times throughout the game too, especially towards the end, and it didn't work again, unfortunately. But
I like the idea.
Just a good play by Podkolzin. What's he up now? 6 goals on the season, so that puts him at like a 16-point pace, 16 goal pace. Sorry,
right around there.
He's doing really well, on pace for a career high, whatever it is. So
5-on-5 goals too. That's valuable.
Yeah, he had that 5-on-5 goal against Montreal.
He did,
which was a game winner after Montreal didn't kill 2 penalties.
You have all weekend to bring that up when the Oilers play the Habs, Liam. The rest of this period in general was such a roller coaster because it's like they score twice. Holy shit, we're back. Darlene trips Draisaitl, they get a power play. And it's like, here we go. Belt to ass, pedal to the floor, let's go. Buffalo kills it off. Hyman takes a penalty. You think, oh boy, got to get out of this one. Okay. Henrique takes another penalty. You're down 5-on-3. You're thinking we might be hooped. Stuart Skinner makes a couple big saves. Brett Kulak makes a great defensive play on Tage Thompson.
Can we talk about the embellishment from Buffalo last night too?
Oh, you didn't.
Did anyone else feel that way? I felt like the Hyman one was embellished by Connor Timmins. And then
the one where they nabbed him for interference earlier, I didn't like either.
Was there a Beck Mallenstein one?
Yeah, the Beck Mallenstein one, that was crazy at the end too. Yeah. I actually didn't mind that one because Hyman's eyes just lock right onto the forward and he just skates into him. So it was like kind of could have gone either way, I guess.
I felt like that was him getting out of McDavid's way. Like he can't stand in McDavid's way.
Yeah, I suppose. It was a tough one, but I just thought at the end, it's like these guys are flying around and they missed the clear boarding call or cross it, whatever you want to call it, on Alex Tuch, then called the worst hooking call I've ever seen. Like, but the last thing I'll say on it, it was only one ref that was calling it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. I can't remember. I obviously don't know the refs' names, but there's one guy, and he's the French fella. Does he have
Jean Hébert?
Yes, he was not the one calling it. The other one was.
Mm.
Unless his name's French too, then we're hooped.
Not Eric Furlat. It was Stefan Hiff.
Yeah, he's definitely not French.
Okay.
Can't be. But
I tried to pronounce it as French as I could.
It felt like he was the only one calling penalties, and he was the one who kept going up and announcing them. It's just like, dude, like these guys play a little bit, and I just felt like the Nuge one is like, sure, if you want to call the hawk trip,
but then they didn't call Lazar, which also
Holden.
a insanely stupid play for Curtis Lazar to make.
Yeah.
He just grabs a guy and yanks him down. He's so lucky he didn't get called. But the point I'm making with the roller coaster was like they go down 5-on-3, and then you're like, okay, they're probably hooped here.
Yeah.
And then they call Tuch on a terrible hooking penalty.
Yeah, they missed the penalty and then called him on a bad one.
Yeah. And then you're like, okay, we're back. We're going to get a power play out of this. And then they miss on the power play. And then Nuge takes a penalty late in the game. And you're like, all right, we're probably hooped now.
Yeah.
And then they kill that penalty. And then there's 40 seconds left. And the Oilers have some zone time. But then they don't get anything out of it. The puck goes out with like 20 seconds left. And you're like, okay, probably not making like an insane push. But then this happens. Connor McDavid, 6, 5, 4, Nuge. Everyone in the crowd yelling, shoot. He does. It bounces. McDavid scores. Biggest celebration we've seen out of Connor McDavid in the regular season in I do not know how long. 97's fired up. Building erupts. Tie game. Buffalo debates challenging for goalie interference. They think, maybe we don't because we don't want to give Edmonton a power play going into overtime.
They couldn't challenge. They use their timeout.
But you can still challenge without timeout.
No, you can't.
You
Then
can.
what would the punishment be? And also, too, under
You take
2
a
minutes,
penalty.
it's league review.
Penalty. The punishment's always a
Oh, is
penalty.
it just a penalty?
Yeah.
I thought you could.
I think you combine the NFL right there.
Yeah, I think you're thinking
is that
NFL.
Well, either way, they weren't even allowed to challenge because it's under 2 minutes in a league review.
I think that's also NFL.
No, that's what
I think you can ask. You're right. You can
Lindy
ask.
Ruff said in his post game, he's like, why did the league not challenge this for goalie interference? I would say because it wasn't. Right?
I agree.
Okay.
But we've seen weirder things get called goalie interference. Like Hyman's foot or Podkolzin is like kind of in the blue paint there.
But when he makes any contact out of the blue paint.
I think.
No.
Look at Dry. Look at Liam. I don't know. We've argued too much about reviews. It's not
But
good.
the goalie's not even in the damn crease.
We've seen before that they don't care.
But we've also seen it's all about the crease.
And Draisaitl has 1 foot in the crease. Look at this. He's in the crease.
But the goalie's not in the crease.
But is the goalie not in the crease because Draisaitl's in the crease? Like, they'd spin it, Liam. There's a spin zone there.
Well, they clearly think I'm right because they didn't challenge. They didn't review it.
I'm well aware you're right. I think it's just a little bit of a break for the Oilers. It could have gotten flipped around.
He's barely in the crease there.
He's in the crease, though. And
But he's also making a ton of contact with that defenseman.
He is. And he's pushed in.
Yeah, no. Good
Okay.
call. Good call, Stripes.
Shout out to Connor McDavid.
Shout out to Connor. What a game.
All right.
Put the team on his back in the third.
We got 2 minutes till Menzies slides in.
Look at that.
It was a rocket of a shot. To be like across your body shooting like that, insanely impressive. Someone said this is Looney Tunes hour right now.
Who said that?
Cato.
Well, the game was Looney Tunes 3 hours.
Game goes to overtime.
Kept going.
And this is like, I get that there's a bunch of people to be mad at, so let's just go through everybody. There's 4 Oilers on the ice. We'll get mad at each of them. First guy mad at is Leon. Can you pause it? Oh. Okay, let's pull it back. Pause it as Leon's coming in. Because look, he has his guy. So like, let's take a peek here. Evan Bouchard is looking and saying, okay, Leon is squared up with Ryan McLeod on this. So you're playing man defense, right? I know there's sometimes some switching and all that, but you're mainly at 3-on-3. You're playing man defense. Bouch is looking and says, Leon's got him. Leon then needs to understand, if I have him, I have him. Bouch then needs to go, who else am I picking up? Because Leon's got his guy. And Connor at this point needs to go, like, where's Connor? Connor's looking over here. There's no one over there, Connor. My dad sits over there, unless he was trying to see my dad. But, like, you need to pick someone up. At this point, they're kind of mushy, lost in no man's land. Mm-hmm. But Leon Draisaitl, if he now thinks, okay, Bouch is taking him, then Leon needs to go and fully come away from him and go pick up another guy. Keep rolling. Right here, the decision is clear. Leon is taking McLeod. Connor is kind of on Dahlin, but maybe should pick up Tuch. Bush is a little bit in no man's land. But if you're Leon Draisaitl here, pin him. If you play with an ounce of physicality, Ryan McLeod, we know Ryan McLeod. Ryan McLeod can't make a play. What does Leon do? He stops, and just lets Ryan McLeod pivot away from him. If Leon just goes and hits him, none of this is a conversation. He is like 1A for me, the beef on this goal, because he has an opportunity to just make a hard play and squash this whole thing, and he doesn't do it.
Yeah, this is obviously a big error from Leon. You even just getting your stick on it a little bit there too, just swiping back as you peeled away. He comes back and he just leaves his stick on it in no man's land too. Even going back further, like Leon wins the face-off clean and Bouchard doesn't really go hard back to get the puck.
Yeah.
And Tuch is right on him. And then you lose possession for whatever they said was 30 seconds of overtime. Yeah, just a lot of errors and it's a disappointing way to end it.
And like Connor as well, like if you're going to
Dahlin does a good job of dragging him out pretty much. But like, McDavid, you got to recognize what's fucking happening here.
And like, I agree. Like Dahlin does a good job of dragging him out, but like Connor, you have two Oilers over there. Like if they complete that pass to Dahlin, it's no trouble.
Yeah, you're fine.
They just lose track of Tuch. I think you and I will both agree on this. The people who are doing what is Stu doing?
What do you mean?
What the hell do you want Stuart Skinner to do here? It's a breakaway where he's got to slide across, and Tuch has all the time he wants to pick a spot on him. Even if Stu gets over in better position, Tuch just hesitates and flips it to his back. Like, Tuch can do whatever he wants here.
If you want to blame Skinner, he's still the fourth guy that made a mistake on the play.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really sat here being like, how did my goalie not make this stop when he had a pretty solid third period with all the penalties, especially at the end. And yeah, it's not a game I'm looking at being like, Stuart Skinner screwed us on this. Which does lead us into the quality start meter, which I'll make a poll for right now, because this will be an interesting one.
It's going to be a really interesting one. I think I'm sideways on it.
I think I'm sideways too. I'm more sideways up, but I don't think I can give him the full good, full bad.
I just don't like the whole narrative, and I saw people doing it last night of like, how, your goalie can make a big save. He made 6 in the third period, man. Like, what are you bitching about? He needs to make a big save. When every time he does make a big save, those same Skinner people just turn their nose and go, it's what he's supposed to do. And then he eventually gives up a goal, because every goalie gives up a goal. And then they go, oh, you can make a big save.
Well, he's just lazy.
It is. It's such a lazy narrative.
Lazy narrative that my favorite one, I was telling this to Aaron before we got on, is when people were like, I'm a big Skinner hater, but that one's not on him.
Thanks for letting us know.
Okay, so your entire personality is just Stuart Skinner, and I don't know. I thought he had an okay game yesterday. I don't think he was perfect by any means, but I look at those 4 goals, and I don't sit there and think, sure, like, would you like a big save? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But he made them as well.
Yeah, I mean, Thompson in all alone off the boost turnover, not on Stu.
Yeah.
Josh Doan through his legs. Josh Doan top of the crease deflection because he's unmarked. Like, yeah, it's on defense.
Yeah.
And Mike says, like, also Alex Tuch is good at hockey.
Yeah, we want him actually on the Oilers to play top 6 to score some goals for us. People were saying like maybe a poke check on one of the Tage Thompson or the Josh Doan goal. Sure, if you want that, I'll let you have it.
But then,
but I just don't think it's just not his game. Like, we've never seen him do that. Maybe that's something he needs to work on. Maybe that's a good point.
But like, if he poke checks and the poke check goes wrong, you know what they're saying?
You're out of position.
6'4" goalie trying to make a desperation poke check instead of just staying in the crease. Jesus, man. That's what they'd say.
Yeah.
Let's just leave the goaltending to the goaltenders, and let's all not try and be experts. That's just an ugly place to go.
The Money Puck had the expected goals at like 3.7 for Buffalo, which is basically 4. And last time I checked, the others lost 4-3.
Correct.
Okay, just making sure.
Natural Stat Trick had the expected goals at 3.3.
Okay, so do you know what was wild last night? What did you think of Well, let's get our guest in. How about that? And then
Sure.
we can just ask us all together.
All right, let's go to the Star Mechanical guest line. It's Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out more by visiting them online at starmechanical.ca, whether it's residential, commercial, 24/7 emergency services. They do it all, and they do it well at Star Mechanicals. We welcome in one of the writers at Oilersnation.com. He's also the voice of the Bonneville Pontiacs, Michael Menzies.
Let's go.
And you got cool sunglasses on again.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's just a thing that carried over from doing mornings in Bonneville. Is just to hide my tired eyes. So
yes.
that's one thing to do.
And I like the knit.
Yeah. I thought I'd wear a jumper for Liam. Yeah, because we do have one of the world's greatest sporting events beginning tomorrow. The World Darts Championship gets going.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to get into that.
Pause the hockey talk, everyone. We're talking Van Gerwen. We're talking Littler.
Yes.
Who's in the mix here, World Darts Championship?
Well, Littler's ranked #1. For those that don't know, Luke Littler is basically if Gavin McKenna was already the best hockey player in the world.
Okay.
That's Luke Littler. He won the Worlds. He's 18 years old.
Allegedly.
He's the Connor McDavid of darts.
Yeah, sensational. You've got Van Gerwen. He's sort of been fading, Where is Van Gerwen going to fit in the mix? And then you got Luke Humphreys as well, but it's a big draw. The alley pally is going to be packed. It's going to be wonderful stuff, and it all gets going tomorrow on Sky. So we're all looking forward to it, and it's the best time of the year. What can you say? So the World Darts coming up. I don't know where you can watch the Canada DAZN, I think.
I bet you TSN or Sportsnet's putting it on.
It's tough because
Do they have the
would
rights?
do replays, throughout the year, but I think poker has taken that spot again to fill out afternoons on these networks. So
We're all watching.
we're all watching it. So absolutely, yeah.
NBC for darts through Peacock and whatnot. NBC.
Oh, okay.
The zone does
There you go. There is a Canadian in the field.
Oh,
Cameron is his last name, I think.
all right.
I don't remember.
There's a Canadian in the field. John Part, Canadian, former Canadian, won 3 Worlds, 90s, 2000s. Anyhow.
All right. There's our darts talk with
There's
Michael
the
Menzies.
darts.
Liam, what do you want to get into hockey-wise with Michael Menzies?
Okay. I don't know if you guys know, but Trent Frederick is an 8-year deal.
Is that right?
And he's not played very well this season.
No. Was he playing last night?
I thought he had a couple of things. He had a good chance last night. Just curious, what did you guys think of Freddie on this last little trek here?
So I've written, and I think it's coming out today, the What Would You Do Wednesday. And the What Would You Do Wednesday is what would you do with these free agent wingers that not a ton is happening right now with both Frederick and Mangiapane. I looked at Mangiapane. He hasn't scored now in 16 games. That's the longest stretch of his career if you exclude the start where I think it took him 26 games to get his first NHL goal.
Right, interesting.
He had a played partial year and then the start of the next. So Mangiapane, it's not really happening. 7 points in his last 27 games. And then Frederick, we know with Frederick. The thing I don't like about Frederick is that if you look at his last 8 games, there's only his hitting high is 2.
Is that right?
In the last 8. He's going between 1 hit and 2 hit. And so if Frederick's not doing that and he's been shelled on the 4th line and played under 7 minutes last night, Mangiapane was in the 9s, I think, time on ice-wise, they need to find Frederick a role. I mean,
He got hit in the face with a puck at practice today and left. That happened 10 minutes ago.
Oh.
That's not good.
So that's something to work into the conversation.
Okay.
I also did the math. We are 4.6% of the way through his contract.
4.6.
4.6?
Okay.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Like the hits, I like that you bring that up.
Yeah.
I thought a guy like that would watch Connor Clattenburg come in and be like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's eating my lunch.
Yeah.
They need more of that. And like Liam says the line all the time, and I love it. Easiest market in the league to become a fan favorite in. Hit, fight, go to the net, start scrums, and everyone will be like, look at what an impact he made. And he just doesn't do it.
Yeah. Vasily Podkolzin took like 20 games to get a goal last season. And the whole time we're like, this is a top 6 winger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Oilers fans they'll forgive if you're doing these other things because we know at the end of the day where the goal scoring needs to come from, but you do need to contribute. And that's where I'm just left to wonder. And that's why I've said it a couple times. They need to give Frederick a role. The role I would give him to try to have him own something is the penalty kill. He has killed penalties in the past, not super consistently, but his best season, that 23-24 season where he scored 18 goals, was his most PK time he's ever spent, which is about 50 total minutes that he spent killing penalties. I know Knobloch, there's been a lot of people that are in the rotation of penalty kills. We've seen it, over the years. I know Henrik and Savoy have taken it up, and then they want McDavid out there at times. But Frederick's going to be an Oiler for a long time.
Yeah.
So how do you make him a useful player where he's pulling the rope as well, where he feels like he can own something on the team so that it's not just left to wonder, well, he's playing 7 minutes a night on the fourth line?
If they gave him a 3-year deal, we would be sitting here roasting it right now.
And that's why,
yeah.
It's crazy.
This is going to come across poorly the way I said it, but I have to say it the way it is.
Yeah.
You got to call it like you see it, Liam.
It doesn't matter right now because you have so much time, and I just don't see a scenario where this is Frederick for 8 years. And I like.
It'd be very hard for him to be this bad.
It would be very hard. And do I think that if this gets to just year 3, for example,
right,
and it has been this bad for 3 years, he's not an Oiler. They're getting rid of him.
But how is he not an Oiler?
They figured out a way to get rid of Miles Wood. And I think there's scenarios around the league where
Robida Island.
Exactly. And the thing is, too, like, that contract isn't going to be that heavy for a team to absorb in a couple of years. Not right now, there's no money in the league right now. But next year, we're talking about guys like Alex Tuch, who, again, is a very good player, getting paid $10 million.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to think of. And you can consider Frederick's contract crazy, too. It's definitely not ideal. But I just think there's still upside with this guy. We've not even seen good.
No.
And that's where I'm at. Is like we haven't even seen him at half of his best.
He's played maybe 2 good games as an Edmonton Oiler, including last year's playoffs.
Can I give you, I think someone in the chat made a really, really interesting point, so I went and checked it. He's taken some time to come around, and the comparison they used was, look at Warren Fogle when he got here. I just looked. Warren Fogle's first year as an Oiler, coming off that trade for Ethan Bear, it took him, in his first 27 games, he only scored twice. And then he started to bump a little bit. Then he ended that first season with 12 goals, I think, in the full year. But, like, we weren't coming out of that first year being like, oh, man, Warren Fogle. Like, it was like, Jesus, what did they do acquiring Warren Fogle? Like, what did he do the next season? 13 and 67. Then he popped off at a 20-goal a year. Then got paid by LA.
And then in the third year, when he went to go leave, we were like, oh, what do you do with him? Like, he's doing well. Do you keep him? He played poorly in the playoffs, and that kind of what ended up being his future was on him. But, like, by that time, it was just like, oh, what do you do? But, like,
Rob, he's blowing chunks right now.
Rob says in the chat, he's like, upside. He's like,
Rob's also just been sitting in there shitting on everyone all day.
Trent Frederick's 27.
Yeah.
He's 27. You know what I mean? Like, he's playing really bad. But this is the only time in his career he's played this bad, and he doesn't know how to get out of it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at with it. I do think there's something there. By upside, I don't think he's ever going to be a top 6 winger for this team, but I think you're right. Maybe he can become a penalty killer. Just a middle 6 guy you can rely on in moments.
Well, they need a role for him, because if he's not involved in any part of the specialty teams, then this is what you're going to get. You're going to get between, 8 to 12 minutes. Maybe, his ice time last night wasn't even his lowest ice time of the season. Like, he's had, we're approaching closer to like double-digit games where he's had under 10 minutes of ice time. And I think what shaded versus the Fogle analogy is just the acquisition cost, and then having seen what they saw in the postseason, wanted to make him an Oiler for life. And that's what frustrates me. That's why I've had to fight this bias, because I wasn't a super fan of this player anyway, but they've hoped him to be some type of, Walmart Kane or, something like that. Yeah. And he can't play in the top 6. It's like what we found out with Lucic years ago. It's like you sign him long-term, you find out almost immediately he can't play in the top 6.
Scored 20 goals that first year.
Yeah, he went on a heater at the end of the year and was very good in the power play. He had his ways.
So do that with Frederick. Put him on the PK, right, and let him find his ways.
What do you do is the question, and that's why I penned this in the article, is like, Do you try them again to elevate in the lineup? Do you do that with Mangiapane? The question with Mangiapane is he's scoring at pretty much the same rate he did last year. That's the concern, is that this might just be
This is who Mangiapane is.
Right. You know, he had a 35-goal season, but he was not a 35-goal guy.
Yeah.
You know, there's a difference. He's never scored 20 in any other season. I think he's just got to play his way through it. He needed that goal to count against the Kraken for his own, you know.
Yeah. Well, he
needed
it to go in. It didn't actually go in.
Yeah, well, exactly.
But that's tough luck, too. So he is fighting a bit of that.
Yeah.
My thing with Mangiapane is, like, when he shoots the puck, it's like, that Kraken play, it's like, holy shit, this guy can fire the thing. Yeah. And then he just goes like 5 games where it's like 1-0, 1-1. And he just doesn't shoot the fucking puck.
Yeah. I think sometimes when they come out, like they did against Buffalo, when they don't have the shot mentality and overpass, and then the shot they take was worse than the one they would have had before, is that's bled through at times in Mangiapane's game, where, you know, we've seen him at times pass up great looks. Because it is a little contagious when the Oilers do we're the 72 Soviets and we can pass the puck, 20 times and look for tap-ins, you know what I mean? So,
Caden's in. Why aren't they talking about the $10.5 million turnover and OT fumble? Oh, it's Frederick and Mangiapane.
Well,
rewind, fool. Show started 45 minutes ago.
No. What we're forgetting is that everything in life is about Caden. And when he shows up, we need to be talking about exactly what he wants us to talk about.
Bouchard was bad last night. I
mean, yeah.
Headline news. I hate to say it, but it's like that's the good, the bad, the ugly of Evan Bouchard, and last night was part of the ugly.
And again,
that's the bottom line.
The people who want to, and Bouchard played bad last night. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, no, you're wrong. He had a good game. Why weren't you in our comments for the last month talking about how from probably about November 8th till December 8th, he was the best defenseman in the NHL or close to it? Why aren't you in the comments during that time, right? But when he has the one bad game, and I get when it's bad, but when it's great, it's also so great. And I thought Rashog nailed it in his tweet about Bouchard, where he was like, if Bouchard didn't have these flaws in his game, he'd be making $14 million a year. Like, that's how the economy of the NHL works.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's
fair.
That's our kid.
That's our Evan.
That's our kid.
What did you make of the goaltending yesterday? Oh, recently, I guess let's go back. Honestly, from probably the Tampa Bay game onwards, I think it's fair to say it's been decent. Besides the Dallas game,
I think it's been all right. Yeah, like I think it's been all right. Like, we know that they're challenged in this area. We know that the Oilers have put all their chips in the area of skaters and are spending so little on goaltending. And we know that Skinner can be up and down. I thought he's been, pretty good for what he can show. My question is when, like, this whole question about Connor Ingram and the backup goaltender situation right now, because Pickard against the Kraken, he was okay, but it's like, when it's funny, traveled with the Pontiacs this weekend, and our assistant coach, bad. Some of the least entertaining hockey I've ever witnessed firsthand. Don't get me going about the road trip. That's a story in its own. Our hotel room was broken into. I had to do things in a parking lot that are almost unspeakable. Anyhow, it was bad. There's a 20-minute story there. But anyhow, it's bad when our assistant coach, who was a goalie, says, yeah, me and my wife were watching the game, and even my wife, who's not a big hockey, like, he plays like a street hockey goalie, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
It's like and that's Pickard, and I think I'm curious about the timeline. I know Ingram is not setting the AHL on fire, but at some point, the move is going to have to be made, because that's the question is, Skinner's got his struggles, but can the Oilers feel comfortable about starting their backup goalie and still winning a hockey game? That's...
I was a little bit surprised thinking on it afterwards, to be fair, that Pickard didn't start yesterday. Just based off, now you have Detroit, now you have Toronto, then you have a back-to-back. I just struggle to point exactly where Skinner will be playing. Pickard will be playing.
Yeah.
Well, last season it was like, all right, 3 games, Pickard, 3 games, Pickard, 3
Right.
games, Pickard. Because you could rely on him. And we looked, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was this show. The save percentage at this point in the season, on this date yesterday, both goalies at an .892, which doesn't sound impressive, but that was pretty much league average at the time. Pickett now he's what, like 840, 850, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's unplayable.
Yeah, well, that's just it. And I was sort of surprised that they started Pickard against Seattle because I was thinking maybe they just, maybe Stu just starts
A bunch.
7 or 8 games in a row. You know what I mean?
Well, are you going to Pickard tomorrow? I don't think you do.
I don't think you do either, but I think they will. I think that's just
Well,
their
if a loss.
rotation. Well, that's what, because then you have back-to-backs. Like, are you playing Pickard in,
2 of your next 3 games, though?
you played him in Toronto?
Hockey
Are you
in
playing them in
Canada,
Montreal?
Saturday night.
Yeah, I think I'm going Stu, Pickard, Stu. Oh, frick, Minnesota. That's a back-to-back mini Vegas. So, yeah, I'm going Stu, Pickard, Stu, Pickard, Stu. There you go. 2 of every 3. That lines up perfectly.
So what was it? Sorry. So do it by games. So I can.
Detroit,
Yeah.
Stu. Toronto, Stu. Montreal, Pickard. Pittsburgh, Stu. Boston, Stu. Minnesota, Pickard. Vegas, Stu. Calgary, Stu.
And then
Christmas break,
Stu on the road.
Stu. If Hellebuck's not back, I have no problem going Pickard here against the Jets because he'll score 7 again or 5.
Or
And
20.
then 20, and then you go Stu on New Year's Eve because it's New Year's Eve and you really want them to win that game because it's fun.
4th time was not the charm for the Jets and Eric Comrie.
Nope.
4 times. The 4th time he's a Jet. Anyhow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he got picked up on waivers.
Yeah,
a bunch.
the waivers.
Waiver in,
Anyhow,
yeah.
it's something. We can look at the micro here of the team, but in the macro level, the overall, they're going to play 20 of their last 46 games against the Pacific Division.
Yep.
Almost 40% of their remaining schedule will be against the Pacific. I mean, those are the games that they have to do well in. Ultimately, they have these underlying issues. I think of these wingers and what's happening with the bottom 6, and then when is it going to be with these Pickard starts? Right? I mean, you have to live with this Oilers variance because let's not act like we've ever seen the Oilers be an elite regular season team.
They haven't won the division in any of our lifetimes, and it's not even particularly close.
The highest they've finished overall in the league in the McDry era is 6th.
Yeah,
In the
that's a good
NHL?
point.
Yes.
Really?
That's what, this is why I find them such a hard team to judge.
And that
just
might have
'cause,
been 2017, wasn't it?
I think it was 22-23.
Okay.
When they won 50. They've
you're
never
right.
finished higher than 6 and typically finished 9th, 8th. This is what makes them such a hard team to evaluate. It's just they do this shit all the time.
Yeah, man, you're bang on with that.
I'd be curious to ask Boudreau about what he would do with a guy like Mangiapane that hasn't scored in 16 games,
It's on the-
or
it's on
a
the list.
Frederick, right? You
I was
know,
thinking of that too. We have some good questions for Bruce.
Yeah.
yeah,
I was told to make up good questions, not just questions.
just not just any old.
For you, unfortunately, we didn't write anything down.
No, no. You have the Merrick effect to you, where we write down like 6 things every time we have Jeff Merrick on. We get to the first one, go 1,000 places we didn't think we were going. Then it's like, oh my god, 30 minutes flew by. Our first question was our Spotify question, which we didn't even get
Should
to.
we just do that quickly?
Let's do that quickly because
Sure.
I know Bruce is just
Yeah.
around the corner from popping on.
Anytime I could be in the same sentence as Jeff Merrick, I'm honored.
It's high praise.
I'm honored. He's the best.
Our Spotify question is brought to you by the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament. You can head out there or head to nationgear.ca and find out how you can join us this January in Jasper. Fairmont JPL, CHE Hockey, Nation Network, putting on a great event. We're so happy to be a part of this one. So join us this January. Put together a team. Join us in the Rockies. We got a whole bunch of really cool guests. Carter Hutton's going to be there. Our Spotify question. People listening on Spotify, this is your chance. It's been 15 years since the Linus Omark shootout goal in the Decade of Darkness. It's one of those moments, and I like to say this line, whether it's this goal or the Eberle goal to start his career against Calgary, or the Yakubov goal, where if you were to tell us right after this one, optimism so high, not making the playoffs till 2017, everybody. It'd be pretty crushing because in this moment, the belief, it's like, oh my God, they found something with Omark.
Oh, the Rexall place faithful as
that.
Dan Ellis gets abused by Omark. And,
My favorite part about this is just that the spinorama,
So unnecessary.
so wildly unnecessary.
it looks like he was going to fall, like as he collects the puck too. So, which would have been a great Oiler moment of the era as well, right?
Some of the names just in it. Theo Peckham.
How about Wit Dog?
Jacques.
Yeah, JF Shock.
Jeez,
I mean, these
no
are.
wonder why did we ever think we were winning a game? Never mind a playoff game.
So this was.
That just takes such nuts to be like, I'm going to spinorama at center ice.
So this was
my
10-11. So this was the first season of Rennie after
Yeah.
Pat Quinn. You know, Pat Quinn, he got career highs out of guys like Penner and Gilbert Brulé and, you know, some real beauties. But
So, the Spotify question is,
yeah.
and this is for all our listeners out there, what is your favorite memory from the decade of darkness in honor of our pal Linus?
And the more niche you get, the better.
Better.
I remember giving Ilya Brizgalov a standing ovation when he came into the game against, I think it was Minnesota,
What? Why?
because it was his debut.
Oh, I thought like something
Yeah.
bad had happened. So
Nope.
finally, I was safe.
Nothing bad happened. He was just Ilya Brizgalov wearing number
man.
81 for the Oilers. Scriven's 59 save shutout from Waz. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's. I think the Oilers won in Phoenix in 12-13, and they were right in the mix of a playoff spot at that time, and that was before, you know, their precipitous fall off and Petrie scoring in zone net, and the Oilers acquiring Jared Smithson and so on and so forth.
All that fun stuff.
Yeah, all that, all that fun stuff. I mean, for a lot of people, I think it's going to be Gagne's
8-pointer.
eight-point game.
I-
You know,
Mine is Ryan Jones' hat trick against the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Oh, yeah.
I went back and looked and who we played against, but his hat trick. And I say this all the time. Ryan Jones shaped a generation. Still shaping you.
yeah, the long hair. Yeah, absolutely. You,
The box score was the Oilers won 6-3 that night, December 2nd, 2011. Eberle scored his first goal of the season. Oh, that couldn't have been. First goal of the game, it must have been. This seems inaccurate. He scored. Mark Letestu scored for Columbus. Same with Derek Dorsett. Derek Dorsett actually had 2 goals that game.
That's
That
a
might be
who's who.
Only 2-goal game of his career. Jones had a hat trick. Schmid scored, and Alex Hemsky scored as well.
was that wasn't one of the games where Hall fought Dorset? Remember a couple of those? Remember they
yeah.
had like
Actually,
beef?
yeah,
Well,
they
he
did.
For a little while.
got hurt. He missed
Yeah.
the chunk of the year.
Darcy Hordachuk for Jared Bowl.
Jared Bull. That's a pull.
Yeah, like the season opener against Calgary because of McIntyre beating the brakes off of Rightus Evenans would be up there. You got to think, some of the random first goal scorers.
I remember
What was his name? I just watched it recently too. He scored against the Stars. And this is like a deep pull of like the first
Philip
Oiler
Cornett,
goal. No,
Man.
Josh Curry.
I'd have to look it up.
Michael, appreciate you joining us in studio.
thanks.
This is always fun. We never know where we're going to go. We start talking Connor McDavid. We end talking Linus Omark. It's the beauty of it.
Darts, baby. The world darts.
World
the alley
darts.
pally. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Michael Menzies on the Star Mechanical guest line. Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. Thank you, Michael. You can check them out online at starmechanical.ca. We're humming. We're good. Let's keep things rolling. Our next guest is brought to you by Oodle Noodle. You can take advantage of the value menu deal and add 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 wontons to your order for just $2. What a bargain. Check them out, oodlenoodle.ca. Our next guest, Liam, this is very, very exciting. Not only did he coach north of 1,000 games in the NHL, not only was he a Jack Adams Award winner in 2008, he also had the privilege of coaching Vasily Podkolzin. We're going to ask him about our boy Vasily Podkolzin in a little bit, but we welcome Bruce Boudreau to the show. Bruce, how you doing?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you?
We spent the first hour of the show breaking down the Oilers' loss to Buffalo, so we've been better, I guess, but that's the way the Oilers' season's gone.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's funny. Every time they win one or they score some goals, they're going, okay, now have they finally turned the corner? Well, I don't think the corner. I think it's more of a circle, and they just keep going around the circle until they win 5 in a row. I'm not going to believe that the Oilers are back.
Well, let me talk to you a little bit then about Chris Knobloch's position here. I mean, he comes in his first year and a half in the NHL. The guy goes to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals, and now he's tasked with continuing to coach a team with Stanley Cup expectations, and they come out of the gates flat. I mean, trying to put yourself in Chris Knobloch's shoes here of having this team with grand expectations and getting them motivated early in the year to play regular season hockey. Is that tough?
Well, I mean, you think it wouldn't be because it's happened a couple times now, 3 years in a row. I mean, they've started out very slow. So, I mean, you'd think, and I think that Chris sits there all summer and thinks, okay, how do we get off to a better start? It's not like he's sitting there going, oh, man, this is surprising. We're off to a bad start again. He's thinking all the time of what he can do to get it better. And maybe it's the players. Let's put a little bit of onus on there, and they say, hey, you know what? It's a long year. We'll get there. We'll just, we'll do what we have to do, and we'll peak by the time the playoffs come. Well, sometimes, you know what? That happens a little too quick, and it doesn't necessarily happen at all. And I think that's the onus should be on the players. I mean, I guarantee as a coach in the NHL, they're doing everything they can to make sure that this team is not only ready, but it doesn't have relapse. So, I mean, are you telling me that Bouchard is not making the exact same mistakes he made 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago? Like, it's the same. Like, I mean, if I'm the coach, I can only say, okay, Bouch, we don't give the puck away, or we work harder on defense. I mean, I guarantee that's been said more than once, and to other players too. But I mean, so I don't put this onus on the coach. I mean, I would have loved in my life to have been in the Stanley Cup Finals 2 years in a row. I mean, I think his future in the NHL is going to be as long as he wants it to be as a coach. So I mean, I put the onus on the players for this.
The other side of it, too, from a coaching standpoint for the Oilers is they lost Glenn Gulletson. Obviously, he went to Dallas. And Paul Coffey left as well and isn't coaching anymore. And then they brought in two young coaches in Mark Stewart and McFarland, who I think was in the Western League last year. Now they've come into a situation where you've got a team trying to win a Stanley Cup, but again, start slow. Like, what would the challenges be for those young coaches trying to establish themselves in the NHL?
Well, it's just to get this, to understand the NHL. The NHL is a different league than the Western League. The NHL is a different league than the American League. It is the toughest league in the world. Players are friggin' good, and you have to know the biggest thing is. And my son coached junior, so I mean. And I was around the team a lot last year, and I'm sitting there. They're, coaching these guys and coaching men that have been there that are pretty smart are two different levels, and you've got to really be able to understand the player and to make things that you want to happen. So I mean, young coaches have got to learn as well. I'm surprised that they went the route, quite frankly, of young coaches when. Knobloch is relatively young, and I mean, you've got a veteran team that, last year was, I think, the oldest team in the league. They've gotten a little younger this year, but I mean, at the same time, experienced coaches when you're this close to the NHL are pretty hard to find. But I mean, at the same time, or when you're this close to the Stanley Cup, that would be the step. I wouldn't have gone younger myself.
I want to talk to you a little bit about McDavid and Draisaitl. I mean, hey, we can lump Bouchard into this conversation too, because when things are going right, it's obviously those three kind of really driving things. But we've seen more than a few moments this year where the fan base gets frustrated with their mistakes, and we'll hear a lot of, "Where's the accountability? Why aren't you sitting in Evan Bouchard? Why don't you sit Leon Draisaitl when he doesn't backcheck hard?" And you're someone who coached a lot of these high-end superstars, Ovi, Pettersson. I could go on and on, Getzlav and them. How do you handle that when a superstar player makes makes a mistake, it results in a goal, and you have to balance like accountability with like, this is also the guy who's going to give me the best chance to get that goal back on the board.
It's not an easy thing. Like, I mean, you don't just sit there and if Connor McDavid makes a couple mistakes or isn't feeling it, and you say, "That's it, he's done." I mean, and you don't play him. I don't know if that's the way to handle these guys, but I mean, I really believe communication is the key. I will tell you how I handled the Stars here is a lot of times they would become stars of the video. Okay, so I mean, if they're a star of the video the next day on things that they didn't do right, but the one thing I would always do, especially with Ovi, I would bring him in and tell him what I'm going to do. I would show him the respect that he's our captain, he's our leader. I got to come down on you today, but I mean, just let you know I'm going to do it out of respect for him, rather than to embarrass him. I would never embarrass any of these guys in public. Now, it's the same thing. If you were going to sit a player like a Draisaitl at all, to me, you sit him one shift. And I think they're all smart enough. They get it and they go, okay, I get it. You don't have to sit me anymore. I get it. You're not happy with the way I'm playing. We're not having an FU fight on the bench or anything. But now I got the message. I know with Mike Green, if I was really hard on him on the game and yelling at him, I would get nothing out of him. But if I all of a sudden whispered in his ear and said, "Mike, I need you. You're not going that well," that's when I would get stuff from him, because he felt embarrassed a lot of times when you did it the other way. And the same would go true with a Ryan Getzlaf or Corey Perry, even to that point. I mean, you talk to them and you give them the respect that they deserve, but at the same time, you know that you have to come down on them, and you have to if they have to miss a shift or something, then that's the case. But you don't bench these guys. I mean, I think the Bruins tried to do it with Cam Neely in the 80s, and the next week the coach was gone. So I mean, those aren't the things you're going to get far with.
I wanted to ask you about Vasily Podkolzin, and obviously you coached him when you were in Vancouver, and that was his career year, 14 goals as a rookie, and then obviously a couple of years it fell off for him, but then it came back around for him right now in Edmonton. He's on pace for a career year. What allowed him to have so much success in that rookie season in Vancouver?
Well, first of all, he's a hard worker. I mean, you see him every day. I mean, Pods works, and he wants success as bad as anybody. He's still learning the game. He's not in great command of the English language still. So, I mean, it's been a working product. We had a great year that year. I played him a lot. I mean, when I took over the team, we were in last place anyway. So I'm thinking I'm playing the younger players, but in the truer sense, he should have been in the American League that first year. But he's got a great shot, great release, and his work ethic. He'll go to the front of the net and he'll outbattle most guys, as you saw on his goal the other night. But I think he's a 25 goal scorer in the end. And I think you're not going to find a better teammate. If you guys have seen him, like just in his street clothes, he's built like a brick, house. And he will look at you straight in the eye, and he will do whatever you want him to do. So to me, I thought it was a great move getting him from Vancouver for a 4th round pick. I can't believe, quite frankly, that they gave up on him that early. But to get through to him is about communication and one-on-one talking to him and doing those kind of things. And, obviously in that first year, he got 14 goals for me.
I want to ask you about a former Oiler now, because there are a lot of people who are saying, hey, this Oilers team, they miss the veteran leadership of Corey Perry. They miss all those things that got him the nickname The Worm. You obviously had him through his peak days in Anaheim. And listen, his on-ice antics, we don't need to talk about him scoring goals and all that. We know that's what makes Corey Perry special. But his on-ice antics, messing with the other team, was there ever a game, can you remember a moment where, and maybe this happened a lot, where you had to pull him aside and be like, Corey, enough of that stuff. Just go play hockey.
I would just have to give him the look and shrug my shoulders and say, what are you doing? There was an incident with Patrick Waugh with me behind the bench one time in Colorado, and where he started it by getting the water bottle and squirting Patrick. Like, I mean, I'm going, come on. Like, I mean, he does that kind of. There was, you know how if you look at where there's commercials, okay, and some players put their gloves on the bench, not on the bench, but on the boards, you know, right? And just to air out or what have you. I've seen Corey grab the water bottle and come in and squirt water in the opposition's gloves just so they would stay wet. Like, I mean, he's nicknamed the Worm for a reason. Like, I mean, not only was he silky smooth around the net and could, you know, he was hard to hit and everything, but I mean, he was one of the best chirpers for a guy that's quiet. Corey's a pretty quiet guy, and I mean, but he was one of the best chirpers and subtle chirpers you'll ever want to see. But he did all these little things, like he'd give you the little jab and then go, "What, me?" And but he was great at it. He was great. He's as good as there is at getting under the other team's skin. But that's, even though that's usually held to players that are medium to the third and fourth liners. Corey Perry was, I mean, he was so clutch when I had him for 4.5 years in Anaheim. He was so good. And, you know, there's a reason he won the MVP and he had a 50-goal season. And, I mean, I saw what he did with Edmonton last year, and I thought, man, this guy might play forever. And he started out the year like Edmonton was going, what the hell did we get rid of him for? He's got 7 goals in the first 10 games. So, I mean, I think he'll play for a couple more years yet. I will say this, and this is what Corey said. Like, I remember when he was going for that big contract in Anaheim, he said he wanted to play till he was 50. And that's when they were still allowed to give more than 8-year deals out. And he was looking for a 12-year deal from Anaheim that they wouldn't give him. So they ended up giving him an 8-year deal. But he stays in good shape. He loves the game. He's like a hockey nerd. And I think he's got a role as a leader, as a player, whether you want to play him on the power play, fourth line, whatever. I think he just loves hockey and he'll play as long as he wants to.
Last one for me, and this is like a bigger picture, philosophical coaching kind of thing, but there's been a more conversation this year than in the past of like, so many games are now going to shootout again, and people are saying, oh, it's because the coaches have really gotten their hands on 3-on-3 overtime. It's been out, like, overcoached, you could call it. What have you made, and even going back to, you know, when you were behind the bench, like you were there when 3-on-3 started and you coached a number of years with it. Do you feel like it's overcoached? Is there anything that you think the league could do to, like, in air quotes, fix 3-on-3 overtime?
Well, we've learned. Coaches learn. I mean, it's they see what's working and what's not working. And I mean, man on the defensive side all the time. I mean, pretty simple that only shoot when you think you can score. Possession. I mean, so every team knows. Like, I mean, and the last thing is, if you're going to shoot, don't miss the net, because it causes all everything. So I mean, those 4 things is the reason. And what I'd like to see, if there was any move I would like to see, would be once you take it over the blue line, you can't take it past the red line. Like, I mean, you can't go all the way and have these, like, I mean, there's usually about a minute and a half really exciting time in any overtime, but there's usually about 2 minutes of just skating around doing nothing and changing lines. So I'd like to see that, okay, then once you get into that half ice, you can only play half ice. And I think that would make for more turnovers and more difficult play.
Well, our friend Jeff Merrick gave us the idea a couple weeks ago. He said, hey, what if we just said no more face-offs, icings, offsides, all of it? Just go. Is that a coach's nightmare, or would you like it?
No, I don't know. We'd have to learn it. But I think everybody would adapt to it. But, I mean, let's face it. Isn't that how we play on ponds? If a puck is saved, they just give it to the goalie and let your team have it and go. Like, I mean, Jeff's got these great ideas. I mean, but you know, one of the things, if they ever do it, they'll start it in the American League and see if it works and bring it to the NHL. But anything that makes the game more exciting, I'm all in for.
Bruce, you are the man. We appreciate you giving us some time today and squeezing us in. If you want to hear more from Bruce, the Hockey Lifers podcast with Bruce and Jeff Merrick is out wherever you get your podcasts from. Appreciate you giving us some time today.
Hey, no problem. Hey, are you any relation to Ken and Gary?
Okay, I get asked that so much because like they're from Edmonton, I'm from Edmonton. There is like some sort of distant relationship, but I actually just the other day, someone reached out to me and they're like, hey, I know Ken. Do you want to get him on your show to squash this? Because I'm not related, but someone keeps messing with his Wikipedia and saying he's my dad.
Okay. Thanks.
Oh, we
Bruce.
lost him. Anyways, Bruce, I'll if you're still there, I'll text you. No relation, but someone gave me Ken's number and was like, he will come on the show and talk to you about this.
Go. Well, maybe that's our next guest. We're looking for guests.
Yeah.
So
Ken is my buddy's dad.
is that right?
Yeah.
Andrew Miller was the player. Andrew Miller was the. There you go. That Menzies was referencing before, but that was awesome. Pretty good insight from Bruce. Stuff I would say we haven't really had on the show. Have we had many coaches on the show? I don't really recall. No, but I will say, I thought we were getting a Grant Fuhr moment from me pretty quick there.
You were fighting it.
I was back here like, don't you flip that camera. Don't you flip that camera.
That
was beautiful.
It was awesome. It was exactly how I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I got everything I wanted.
Story about Pudcole, or talking about Pudcoles, and great insight.
Cool. Yeah, and it's true. Like sometimes you get these players come over, and like it was the same thing with Puljujarvi. It's not as easy as just walking into a country and being like, they all speak Finnish or they all speak Russian. It's like, no, everyone speaks English here. A majority of people. And if you're on that team, I don't know who was on the Vancouver team at the time, but like I can't imagine there was many Russian players around, you know. And then it's similar when Puljujarvi came here, they went and got, was it Laurie Krupikoski is what they brought in, right? Didn't he hate playing in Edmonton, if I'm not mistaken? So
I think I'm just looking at their roster. I think he was the only Russian on the team.
Yeah, and like sometimes it's not as easy as like we need to find out Russians who play with Podkolzin, but like maybe recognize that a little bit as like we need to figure this out. So hey, it all worked out for the Oilers in the end.
I can show you my hockey DB history. About halfway through the interview with Bruce, I went and looked. I'm like, oh, he played with Ken Uremchuk. I was like, I bet you he's going to ask me about this. They played together in Chicago, yeah. One thing I'm going to take from that is you always like to have something that sticks with you, like the Ennis line where he talked about, you know, playing as Demers has the dimmer. Yeah. Bruce's insight with the Mike Green stuff. Saying like
it's about communication.
Yeah, like we all sit here on the outside. I say we all as like a fan base, but like why won't he scream at Bouchard? Why won't he bench Bouchard? I think Chris Knobloch might know, similar to what Bruce told us about Mike Green. If you scream at him and bench him, you're not getting anything out of him. You're embarrassing him. He doesn't want to be embarrassed. Some guys maybe like that. Some guys want to have the, you know, spur in there, whatever, and be like, yeah, okay, you know what? I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to go win us this hockey game. Bouch might just need the little tap on the side and, hey, buddy, dial it in. And like Bruce said, you think the coaching staff hasn't told him? Bouch, no more turnovers. Like, of course they've told him that.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned that on the show before too, to be honest. Like, the coach needs to have an understanding of his players. And of course, and we've seen already this season, it gets to a point where it's like, and what you would do if your own kids, I would do. We would have kids, but we don't have kids.
No, I don't have children.
Where it's like, you tell them enough times, like, okay, go to your room. And it's like with Bouchard, it's okay, man, I've told you to stop making these dumb mistakes over and over and over again. But now you're not, so you're going to sit there for the last 10 minutes of the period. Yeah. But then you're going to come out and you're going to play great. Draisaitl seems to be the guy who's like, if you want to spark him, he wants to go out there and be like, no, F you. Yeah. You do not do that to me. Doesn't like,
Dry is definitely that kind of guy.
Yeah.
All right. I think we got to wrap up because we're going to shoot our Family Feud episode.
Yeah, and we guys done a great job. Aaron's done a great job.
You've done a great job.
Well, I just had the idea. Everyone else did all the work.
No, you've owned it. You've done good.
But it's going to be fun. We're going to release it on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
I almost wish in a twisted, dark way that we couldn't get the game to work because I wanted my other idea to also work. Did I tell you about that?
Of having Menzies run a whiteboard?
I wanted Michael Menzies to run the whiteboard and essentially host Family Feud by writing on the board, but we got it to work and we're using technology, but we got it.
It's gonna be great.
The guys are grinding on there already. So.
Bruce Boudreau, what an absolute treat. Michael Menzies, also a great treat.
Yes.
Michael Menzies is still here. All right, that is a wrap on today's edition of the show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Shout out to our friends at Bet365 one more time. Tomorrow, game day edition of the program. Jay's going to be here. Got some other guests lined up. Very excited. But in the meantime, enjoy your Wednesday. We'll see you all tomorrow, noon Mountain. Oil up! What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a